This channel is structured to share my knowledge and logic to dismantle deception in which will provide clarity and closure to those who choose to follow.
Let me see. This dude, apparently he had affected. Let me see what it says. Infected over 100 females with the HIV. The only authentic video about Darnell Bossman McGee. Okay. Alright. It's about a Pookie who gave all these sisters, these dumb sisters, the HIV. Let's check it out, guys. Hit the thumbs up button.
In 1969, Lillian McGee's and John McGee's newborn baby was born. Lillian McGee, who was the mother of 20 children prior, just gave birth to her 21st child named Darnell McGee. Darnell McGee was the youngest child of 21 children, and by age 66, Lillian McGee will be the mother of 21 children, 108 grandchildren, and 110 great-grandchildren. Shortly after Darnell's parents brought their newborn baby home, Darnell's father leaned over the crib and stated, "You'll be the boss of the house when I'm out. You'll be the boss man." And from that day forward, Darnell McGee was considered by family and friends as the boss man. In Darnell McGee's early childhood, Darnell McGee's family found out that he had epilepsy, which is a disorder in which nerve cell activity in the brain is disturbed, causing seizures. Darnell was a thin child growing up who always helped his mom repair appliances around the house. Despite being slower than most children in school, Darnell tried his hardest. At age 10, Darnell joined the boys club in East St. Louis, Illinois.
Hit the thumbs up button, guys.
Most of the boys at the boys club teased Darnell and beat Darnell, and due to those circumstances, he left. After leaving the boys club, Darnell decided to enroll in roller skating classes, eventually becoming so good at roller skating that he gave free lessons to the other children. And although that was going good with Darnell, at the home of Darnell and his family, which was on Cleveland Avenue at the time, the home that Darnell and his family lived in prior to moving to the 500 block of 16th Street, which is located in East St. Louis, Illinois. In 1984, Darnell's father and his family had just returned from church. Darnell's father, John, was involved in a heated altercation with his son-in-law that resulted in his son-in-law shooting John in his stomach and in his neck. Lillian McGee witnessed the entire event as John McGee fell to his death in Lillian McGee's arms. Darnell McGee was 15 years old at the time of his father's murder. And Darnell McGee never got over his father's murder. After 2 years went by after Darnell's father's murder, an unknown person poured gasoline around their house, which resulted in their house burning down to the ground. Everyone got out safely, and the person who burned their house down never was found. As a result of losing their house on Cleveland Avenue, Lillian McGee, who is now a widow, moved her children to a new home to raise her children in the 500 block of 16th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. The year was around 1986 when the McGees moved to their new neighborhood. Their new neighborhood was still in the city of East St. Louis. At the time, and not much has changed currently, their new neighborhood was systematically ranked one of the most poorest cities in America and the most poorest city in the state of Illinois. The median family income at the time of East St. Louisans were around $15,000. Darnell Bossman McGee wanted to rise above his environment. And Darnell Bossman McGee believed that rising above his environment will consist of him elevating his status by collecting girls and money. Darnell's income was based off of receiving government disability checks regarding his epilepsy condition. And his other source of income was installing car stereos and selling vehicles. Darnell had multiple vehicles and multiple streams of money that Darnell utilized with the primary intention to obtain younger females. And Darnell didn't just obtain younger females, he also obtained underaged females.
Oh, wow.
Darnell stood approximately 6'1", weighing about 130 pounds, significantly skinny, would utilize his privilege of having multiple vehicles to impress females on the East St. Louis, Illinois side, as well as females on the St. Louis, Missouri side of
he looked like JJ.
Town. Darnell also utilized those same techniques of impression towards underage children at their schools and homes.
Jesus
Darnell
Christ.
would intentionally drive by grade schools of all kinds with a different vehicle on every occurrence, flirting with underage females as school was dismissed. He sometimes would exchange numbers to connect with the underage females later, and sometimes the underage females were so mesmerized by Darnell's different vehicles and money, it allowed Darnell to accomplish his goal, which was to lure the underage females to his vehicle. Darnell would entice and buy these females Nike shoes, gold necklaces, or sometimes taking the underage females to McDonald's. Most of these females lived in poverty-stricken areas and were easily influenceable. Darnell, while still living at his mother's house, managed to bring well over 100 females, mostly underage females, some as young as 12 years old, where Darnell's mother, brothers, sisters, nephews, and nieces lived in this extremely small one-story house. The females were consistently knocking at the door of Lillian McGee's house, in which Lillian McGee claims that these underage girls would state to her that a friend or a parent brought them by. Lillian McGee stated that these underage females that were at her house would give the excuse that they wanted to go skating with Darnell. However, these underage females were allowed in the house, and not only allowed in the house, all of the females that came over Darnell's house, including the underage females, were behind Darnell's closed bedroom door having sex. Lillian McGee states that these different females was over at her house from night to day consistently. By this time, Darnell has impregnated well over a dozen females, including a female named Tanya Pepper Thompson. Tanya, at the time of her interactions with Darnell, was around 13 years of age. When Darnell, at the age of 21, impregnated her, Tanya stated that Darnell treated her sweet and bought her everything that she wanted. However, shortly after Tanya gave birth to Darnell's newborn daughter, Tanya ended the relationship with Darnell. After Tanya and Darnell's breakup, Darnell was still allowed to come over to pick up his daughter, in which he did. Tanya stated that during Darnell's visits to pick up his child, there was consistently a different girlfriend with Darnell every time that he came over to pick up his child. In the year of 1992, at a health department located in St. Clair County, Illinois, Darnell Bossman McGee tested positive for the human immunodeficiency virus, better known as HIV, which is the virus that causes AIDS. After Darnell was well aware that he contracted the HIV virus, Darnell continued to be promiscuous and procreate. The only thing that Darnell changed regarding his lifestyle is that after 1992, after Darnell McGee was made aware that he has contracted the HIV virus, Darnell decided to increase the amount of sexual partners that he had. Darnell would frequent the skating rinks more.
Jesus Christ, this is... he was just spreading it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Man, this is crazy. Hit the thumbs up button, guys.
More often now, in search of new sex partners. Extremely popular skating rinks located in East St. Louis, Illinois, and Darnell frequented the St. Louis, Missouri skating rinks more often. A significant amount of underage children frequented these skating rinks. Skating rinks such as Saints, which was located in St. Louis, Missouri at the time, Skate King, which was located in East St. Louis, Illinois, and also there was another location in St. Louis, Missouri. Meanwhile, as Darnell increased his sexual partners, more females were infected from HIV. Some even with full-blown AIDS. Some that have died, and some were fighting to live. Most of these females had other sexual partners, and those females that received HIV/AIDS from Darnell was spreading HIV/AIDS to their other sexual partners as well. Many young females, many underage females were getting sick all throughout St. Louis, Missouri, and the East St. Louis, Illinois areas. Throughout the early to mid-90s, the suspicion of Darnell McGee having HIV/AIDS spread throughout the cities like wildfire. Almost everyone in these cities, despite their age, had a strong belief that Darnell McGee had HIV/AIDS, and not only had HIV/AIDS, they had a strong belief that Darnell McGee was knowingly spreading HIV/AIDS. Health department officials continuously went to Lillian McGee's house in search for Darnell. Health department officials made many attempts to contact Darnell by physical visit because there were an enormous amount of people who were testing positive for the HIV/AIDS virus. And Darnell McGee was in connection to all of the people who were visiting the health department with these particular circumstances. Tanya Thompson, Darnell's child's mother, was one of many people to get wind of this information. Tanya discovered that Darnell McGee had HIV/AIDS one day as Tanya was watching the television news. Tanya immediately went to Walgreens and purchased a $60 home HIV test kit. Tanya stated that she contacted the clinic twice, in which the clinic informed her that she was negative for HIV. Tanya also mentioned that Darnell lied about his age. Tanya was 18 years of age, sifting through some personal papers of Darnell when Tanya discovered a birth certificate of Darnell's, which revealed Darnell's actual age. When the health department officials arrived at Lillian McGee's home in search for Darnell, Lillian McGee wanted to know the reason for the visit. The health department officials stated to Lillian McGee that due to confidentiality laws, they are prohibited from discussing the matter of the visit with anyone other than Darnell. And since the health department officials could not discuss this matter with Lillian, Lillian would not give any information to Darnell's whereabouts and demanded that the health officials leave the premises. The health officials continued to come, and Lillian, sometimes not even answering the door, would talk through the door, informing the health department officials to leave. On October 2nd, 1996, Darnell went to Tanya Thompson's house to pick up his child. In the process of Darnell leaving his vehicle and approaching the house with the intention of picking up his child, Tanya Thompson's brother, Tavon Antonio Upton, who was 19 years of age at the time, approached Darnell, attempted to take several $100s out of Darnell's pocket, and as Darnell made an attempt to flee, Tavon Antonio Upton shot Darnell in the back. Darnell informed the police that he was shot by Tavon because Tavon believed that Darnell stole his car stereo. Darnell was rushed to Touchett Regional Hospital in Centerville, Illinois. Darnell recovered from his injuries. Shortly after this incident, Tavon was arrested by the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department. Tavon had 100 days already served in the St. Clair County Jail, so the judge sentenced Tavon with 1 year probation for shooting Darnell. After Darnell healed from his injuries, he's back out on the streets as usual. A 15-year-old girl who had relations with Darnell had a conversation with a guy named Montrell Worthy. Montrell, age 24 at the time, was desperately looking for money. The 15-year-old informed Montrell Worthy that there was a guy that she knows named Darnell who drove.
So this dude was knowingly giving hundreds of women. Jesus, man, y'all gotta stop. Women, man, sisters, man, y'all don't know how to pick them, man. Sisters don't know how to pick them, man. They be literally be dating death, man. That's crazy. Hit a thumbs up button.
Cadillacs and Pontiacs with loud stereo systems. Who had a lot of money, the 15-year-old stated to Montreal Worthy. And on January 15, 1997, the 15-year-old girl beeped Darnell's pager around 4:30 p.m. as Darnell headed over to 4749 Vernon Avenue to meet up with the 15-year-old girl. Montreal Worthy, with tattoos and 4 gold teeth, stalked Darnell in a gangway between 2 buildings. Montreal Worthy waited for the best opportunity. Then he began to run towards Darnell's vehicle, firing a .45 caliber pistol at Darnell while he was in his car, instantly killing Darnell. Police state that the 15-year-old girl's role in this situation remains unclear. Montreal was charged and convicted of murder in the 2nd degree, armed criminal action, possession of a controlled substance, and unlawful use of a weapon at the time he was apprehended for the murder of Darnell. Darnell's body is buried at Sunset Gardens of Memory in Millstadt, Illinois. Many years after Darnell's death, health department officials continued their investigation into finding all the people, all the females and males who are in connection with being infected by HIV/AIDS by Darnell's harmful and deadly escapades.
Jesus Christ.
Subscribe.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I knew a girl whose sister got caught up in that stuff, man. She ended up passing away because of him. Crazy, man. That is a crazy story. Dang. Yeah, that was back when they didn't even know. Like, if you got that, they could just early to mid 90s. You know, right now you can live with it damn near. You know what I'm saying? You know, the medicine has gotten so advanced, but back then, if you caught it, man, you was out of here. You know. You know, and he was giving them full, you know, and then especially if you give them, like, Magic Johnson had HIV, but they was able to, you know, make it where it didn't spread to the other, you know what I'm saying, the other part. The other 4 letters. Back then, if you had the 4 letters, the full blown, it was rap. You know what I'm saying? That shit is scary. Shit. Anyway, y'all think about this video, man? Leave your comments. Subscribe to Charles Nesbitt. And subscribe to this channel. What this channel is called? Realized Mental Channel. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Our Rationalized Mental Channel. Check them out. Hit the thumbs up button, guys.